Hello again. This is part two of the More Than This episode entitled Authenticity, Safety, and Kindness. Now I am going to talk about dealing with people who try to threaten your safety by telling you that your truth is wrong. And they do it in an unkind way. So, what we're really talking about here are these givers of unsolicited advice, right? That you're just minding your own business in your own lane, trying to be safe, be authentic, be kind, and then boom, someone just comes along and says, let me explain to you why you were completely wrong and how I can help. Okay, so I get several messages like this per week from people who want to explain to me how my understanding of Hecate is wrong. And then I also get many messages from people saying, like, basically, I don't feel safe. My partner doesn't approve of me practicing witchcraft. My family invalidates me. I feel really alone. I don't feel safe. So there's kind of like the two things. One is like people telling me I'm wrong and trying to make me feel unsafe and question my authenticity, and they do it in unkind ways. And then there's the other where it's like it's being done to them and they want my advice. Okay. I'm not a big advice giver. I talk about what works. I talk a lot about my personal experience, and then as always, I look at what works in terms of the research on different psychological phenomenon. Try to stay out of like just here's my advice. And I never give unsolicited advice. I don't. I don't even know where this comes from, but like let's go back. Let's dial the time all the way back to the late 80s when I was first awakening to my own witchiness, that somewhere I read in some book, probably like Raven Silver Wolf, that witches don't give unsolicited advice. And then, of course, I became a psychologist. Um, and, in my ethics course, when I was doing my doctoral studies, we're really trained, don't go around giving unsolicited advice. If someone wants your opinion, let them ask for it. You're not here to solve the world's problems by just running around and saying you should do this and you should do that. And so unsolicited advice is like one of the prime ways that other people threaten our safety. And if you want to be a person who stands in your own safety, your own power, you don't give unsolicited advice, in my opinion. Like, and because to be safe also asks us to help other people be safe, right? Like it's that simple. And if someone wants our advice, they'll ask for it. That being said, like with all the social these days, like the Twitter and the Instagram and Facebook and everything else, when we post something, we will often get unsolicited advice from people. Again, they're feeling pretty safe. They're just sitting on their couch, spewing whatever it is comes to their head, not even giving it two thoughts usually. There's this thing today on the Covenant of Hecate Network page where someone who I have deep respect for says that they weren't comfortable with nude images being associated with Hecate. And immediately there was like a dozen people like just threatening her, saying like, why do you see it this way? Why is it this way? Like, what's wrong with nudity? Instead of like just holding her for a moment and saying, thank you for being brave enough to speak your truth. Because the big thing about unsolicited advice and our opinions and feeling safe is that if we don't feel safe, when anyone disagrees with us, we're going to be hyperactivated and the whole world is going to feel like it's tilting. Ask the question, why are you so activated by this? How does this reflect an area in your life where you feel unsafe? Because this little micro exchange on social media that is ultimately of no consequences to your wellness, if it really triggers you, and I'm going to be honest here, that this stuff, when I first started keeping her keys of stuff, I would be in tears, I would be in panic attacks. I had to do so many things to get better at navigating this. But these little micro exchanges really made me feel unsafe because they were a threat to my authenticity. Because I was shaky, I was in a new form, being a public figure, coming all the way out of the broom closet. And it was really rough. It was a lot. And we had just moved into this new home. There's just like so many things going on. Over time, I did a lot of work. The Quotidia, my Unifying the Three Cells meditation, daily Enodia oracling, daily just softening into the candle, connecting to the goddess. Doing it daily really helps with the safety, authenticity, and kindness. It really flows the kindness. But it's a lot when people just are like, here, let me explain to you why you're wrong. You're fundamentally wrong in the core of your being. So I got this email. If you're watching this as a video, I just show you. I'm not going to obviously say who it's from or anything. It's a 2-page. It's 2 pages. This latest one I've got telling me about why I'm so wrong. I didn't ask for their help. And the first thing this person says is, I can help you. I was just listening to the witch in the room and your struggles with religion. Hecate was here for 1.5 years while I apprenticed under her. All those things you're struggling with, I can help you understand. And it goes on and on and on. So much. I'm not going to read most of this. Anyway, the person also says that they have no money, going on, telling me that if I'm willing to let go, they can show me the way. They have no money. I've never heard of this person before. They go on to say they love learning, but witches need to exchange knowledge because most has been lost. High priestesses have an obligation to share what they know. So we get to the solicitation. I'm all wrong, and what they want from me is basically me to teach them for nothing. And then they go on, they give me their phone number and everything, but what I know will destroy your foundation, which is imperative for you to build the solid foundation you deserve. So it goes on and on, phone numbers, all this stuff, all of these things about how wrong I am. And I was, if you listened to the Witch in the Room episode, I'm just exploring things. I didn't think I felt like I needed anybody's help. I think I'm doing pretty good. And I think if I need somebody's help, I'm going to know I need somebody's help. Especially from a complete stranger who says they have no money and can I just teach them for free? And this is something I have had, I don't know how many messages from people who it's like so-and-so contacted me and said they could break the curse that I was under. And it's on, like, what it is, it's solicitation. They'll break the curse that they're under for so much money. Like, I'll tell you this, no ethical teacher or healer is ever going to send you an individualized, I don't mean like a newsletter thing, like I send out, the monthly newsletter. I mean an individualized, dear Cindy, you're under a curse. And if you give me money, I can stop it for you. No one ethical is ever going to do that. Those people are fundamentally trying to rob you of safety. They want to get you in fear, make you super vulnerable, and then they want to exploit you for all you have. A lot of this unsolicited advice I've discovered is from people who are trying to do that in very subtle ways, like in this email, clear what they want. And then I had a message a couple of weeks ago. Someone said they would teach me Reiki because I clearly didn't understand something or other, if I would give them something for free. Again, so it's this whole thing. Let me tell you that your authenticity is wrong and make you feel unsafe. And then I want to take some things from you. Sounds a lot like we're back on Cersei's Island with the invaders, doesn't it? How to cope with this is just to let it be. People will say things on social. People who we have relationships with will say things. The question is always, don't worry about some defect in you. Ask what is wrong with them. Clearly, in this email, there's a lot of insecurity going on about God and Abraham and Adam and all these things. They feel really unsafe. Somehow they feel that Christianity is personally attacking them, and that because I don't know what I said in that first episode that could have activated this, but nonetheless, here we are. So they feel unsafe. Moses, Abraham, Jesus, Adam, all of those people make them feel unsafe. But that's not my concern. Those people don't make me feel unsafe anymore. I had a lot, like I talked about in that episode, there was a lot of things about my upbringing in the church I was raised in that made me feel super unsafe. They have nothing on me anymore. They don't make me feel unsafe. So when someone comes at you like this, and it'll happen because the more you are your authentic self, the more you feel safe within yourself, the more you make those changes, the more kind you become to yourself, the more empowered you are, the more certain people will be threatened by your authenticity. You see, this is the thing. Authenticity and safety, like I said, it's this perfect correlation. If you're safe, you can be more authentic. The more authentic you are, the more safe you become. There's always going to be this weird minority out there who feel threatened. So they feel unsafe. You're feeling safe, authentic, being kind and clear. And there's a small group out there, sometimes people we know personally, a lot of times just these randos on the socials, they're like, oh, because you are being your most authentic and kind self, somehow that threatens me. It doesn't. Like, no one else's truth, as long as it's abstract and it's not like being like poured on our head, it doesn't rob us of our identity. What someone else lives and what is true to someone else, if they're just speaking their truth and not attacking us, and even when they are attacking us, it's about them. Let them be them and you be you. And I think that is like the key takeaway. It's just get yourself safe. And when people come at you, and if you are activated, you get panic over it, it's fine. Don't beat yourself up for it. It's not you. People come at you with their guns blazing. It's a normal reaction to not feel safe. And then ask yourself, why do I not feel safe? Am I really not safe? Is this just some rando spewing bullshit at me and they really have nothing to do with my life? Or is there an actual risk here? And if there's an actual risk here, what should I do? Don't react. Don't react. Set a time limit. When someone says something, even right to your face, like, don't worry about saying anything right away. As long as you can get away and you're safe, there's no immediate threat to your person, don't worry about it. You know, people say, well, if I would have thought of that snappy comeback, it's like, well, maybe not having a snappy comeback was the thing to do, because the snappy comeback could have just engaged you more with that person attacking you, just walking away, seeing them as the problem. Perhaps that was the right decision. I love the 4 agreements. If you're not familiar with this little book and you want to know how to deal with people who really come after you like this, who are really threatened by your authenticity, or people already in your life who are blocking you from being your most authentic self, I really recommend the 4 agreements. That's a great little book. You can do this. You are so much more than anyone saying something horrible to you, giving you unsolicited advice, telling you what's true to you is wrong. You are so much more than that. It is okay to live life like you are on Cersei's island. You don't need to explain yourself to anybody. You are just exactly as you are meant to be. And all you need to do is be more you. Be kinder to yourself. Work on your safety. That's it. And of course, and hail Hecate, and Circe, and Medea. All right, this has been great. I've really enjoyed these explorations of authenticity, safety, and kindness. It's a lot to take in. I will pop up the notes on the Searchy Hub. So if you want to join the Searchy Hub, it's completely free. You got to go to keepingherkeys.com and follow the steps, but it's completely free. There's lots in there. No algorithm, no likes, no follows, just the episodes as videos and more resources. So check it out. Go to keepingherkeys.com. And if you would really like to get into this work of being more authentic and being more safe within yourself, creating that life where you're safe, consider joining my school, and you can find out more information about what's going on in the school on the website as well. Thanks so much for listening.